Alright, so you got your old Greenfield, it runs, but you got an issue. The cutting belt is completely come off the rails, so what are we going to do? Well, first you got to take a bolt off there, which I've already done, and another one on the front there, so that lets you take the seat off. But also, it lets you take this off, so then we can see what's going on. Now, see the driving belt is this one here that goes around these two big guys, but the cutting belt goes over these two. Now we've got this one here, it's supposed to have a cover over it, so that's gone missing. And on this side, well, look at that there, it sheared the bolt that holds it all together. So yeah, I wonder what happened there. So we're gonna have to take that out. Now, what happened is these came loose and were just sitting on the cutting deck. So we've got our pulley, which is what came off over there, and you can sort of see the markings where this sits. Now what happens is the belt sits inside this area here, and it lets the belt disengage from the pulley when it's loose, but not be so far away from the pulley that it can't re-engage when you pull the lever. So when you pull this lever, see how the moves where the bolt goes back? Let's look on this side. So when that goes backwards, it tightens up and you get more, the belt is forced to get friction hold inside the pulley, and you cut this, your blade starts spinning. So yeah, today we need to replace this bolt here, so I need to get that out and see what size it is, and yeah, do that, and also yeah, make a new cover. So I'm gonna put that on some steel that I've got, and yeah, cut out and weld up the pieces. Alright, let's get to it. Okay, so I've got some steel here, and yeah, I meant to make one of these before, but yeah, it looks like this piece will do for this bottom one. So I'm going to mark it so that way I know I just need to cut out where all the blue is. That side and on that side. Give it a minute to dry. That'll be the back plate. Then I might be able to do the two side plates, or the two small ones with the excess on the sides there. So, yeah. But it is time to, yeah, time to see if I can drill out this hole, make it a little larger there, and yeah, either that or it's just going to be an angle grind job. Yeah. Alright, so we're back. Yes, I lost my pen lid. Yeah, it fell down and just disappeared. But anyways, got this guy. So what I did was drill through there, and then, yeah, it's not great, but yeah, and then use the angle grinder to cut up in here and in there, so you can tell it's not best, but it's, yeah. So that's what we're after. And then I just cut on the edges there. There's a little excess, that'll give me a little something to weld to, so that's alright. I'll clean it up later. Now I need to make the side bits, so yeah, gotta make those. So there's no way I can do both of these out of this one, I don't think, because once I do that, something to say there's not enough material to do another one. So what I'll do is I'll have to get a little piece off my larger bit here. So yeah, actually I might make both of them off this one and then save the larger bit for yeah, save this little bit for another time. But these two little guys should be enough to do this bit. So just snip the edges off. So trace around there and snip off all the edges. So that'll be those pieces. And I'll trace these two out here and use the angle grinder to cut all those, and then I shall weld them together. Alright, so here we are. I've marked the two side pieces here, and then the two front covery pieces here, and I just got to trim the excess, like, and we're good. And then it is weld together. Now I do need to make sure that I do this, say, backwards, because these are mirror images of each other, these two pieces, one for each side. So yeah, that goes on so this side for the left side, and the other one will go on the right, but that'll be for when I put it together. Now I've got to take this in, hold it in the vise and snip it all out. Alright, here we are. So I got this guy. So then these guys are like from the sides, so those go there, and one go there, one go there, and these guys are like the tops. So now I need to put it all together and weld it. So yeah, let's see how we go. Alright, so welded up the two bottom ends there using the magnets. I've got this nice and balanced to just give it a couple of tacks and go straight across, and then one last piece on the opposite side. So yeah, let's get to it. Alright, so it looks like in the last 10 minutes or so we had a little bit of a rain shower, but yeah, so here we are, the original and the copy. It's totally horrible, but you know, as long as it works, I'm just going to get a file and do some of the edges so it won't cut the damn cable. But yeah, let's see if she actually fits in place. Yep, a little on the hot side. Let me get a glove. Oh, it's starting to rain a bit more. So yeah, these are supposed to go down. And it looks like I didn't make it quite wide enough to slot in. If I pick up the other one. Ah, I know why. See how it's got like a bushing it rides on? Yeah. And the bushing is missing here. So that's why it's it failed on that side somehow. So yeah, needs another bushing made up. Right, so yeah, it looks like the bushing being still on. See this bolt, see there's enough thread on there to get a nut on nicely, so it's about 10 mil longer than it needs to be, which is inhibiting me of taking everything apart as I need. So I'm going to cut it and put a new one in that's 10 mil shorter. That way I can actually work on this thing. Alright, so I got that cut, but whoever skimmed the side of this, so what I'm going to do is give this a quick coat of paint so it doesn't rust. Well, any more than it already is. And yeah, it's raining, so I'm going to have to call it a day. Alright, so just at the end I thought I'd add this. This is the little guy, I guess, that snapped or disappeared from the other pulley. So I need to make a new one of these on the lathe. So this is supposed to be wide enough that it sits on there, but you know, it's thin enough that the bolt goes through. So yeah, bolt goes through and it sits on that. So yeah, if the bolt fits through and then you slide it, it sits on that, and that's how it rides. So yeah, I think we're good. I just need to make another piece on the lathe that mirrors this bushing here. So yeah, cool. Alright, so here we are at the lathe. I've got a piece of brass stock in here at the moment, so I'm going to make yeah, my first brass piece. Because brass has got really good slippage properties against some other metals. And yeah, it's softer, and I thought I'd give it a go because there's not too much pressure on the part, you know. It doesn't really need to be, you know, some high tensile strength steel. Well, I might be wrong, but we'll find out, I guess. So what goes on is goes in there like that, and this has been, I guess, oversized by time, by gradual wearing, but yeah, so this sits in, bolt goes through, nut on the other side, and yeah, the belt just runs in there. So that's so we gotta make one of these, and the end of that. So yeah, just gotta measure the inside diameter, drill it out, then first bit outside, do it down, then the second outside, and then part it off. So it should take more than about, say, 30 minutes, taking my time to make sure I get it right. So yeah, first thing is to yeah, drill out the center a little bit. So I need to measure the inside, and I'll just put this off to the side. So now this will be imperial, but all my stuff's metric, so we're looking at a 10mm hole. Cool, nice and easy. So let's get to that. Right, so I've got 3mm in. I'm going to drill a pilot hole with that. As you can tell, I've oiled it up, and I've got cutting blade on here from the earlier job. Now I've deliberately made it stay out of the way, as we are only inserting the drill bit through our little wheel here. Yes, these are matched to the right, you know, spaces, so I keep them there. So yeah, time to drill. So we've drilled it up to a space here, which is enough to cover the entire length of this. So now it's time to swap over, loosen the tailstock up, and switch out to the 10mm drill bit. Alright, so we've got our 10mm one in, and I've put some tape on this, as you can see, so I know after the cutting blades and it's all symmetrical, I have enough in there for the part. So yeah, time to get it into position. Yep. A bit of cutting oil on there. Yeah, I don't know where my brush went, so that's what I've got right now, just to dab it on. But I'll do that. I always do that. Not onto moving parts though. So anyways, let's Yep, just double check that it's nice and tight with the chuck key. Yep. Now, just in case, move it around so nothing touches it. And yeah. Yep, everything's in order. Okay. We've got to lock the tailstock in place. Now we should be good. And that is bad. Let's turn it on. So yeah, that became dislodged there. We should be good now. A little bit of cutting oil. Look at those nice chips. Nice and smooth. Whoop. That happened because I backed off pressure and friction held it in there and slightly pulled it out of the tailstock. Alright, so now it's back in the tailstock. That's just annoying, that bit. So let's get yeah. So yeah, all the particles needed to come out. Probably should have done that in another couple of back and forth passes to empty the chips. So let's do that. So let's wind this all the way. Get it back up there. Lock the carriage into place. Put face mask down. Grab a cutting oil. gonna call that done, and yeah, now it's time to get the smaller section done of that. So we need to measure the outside diameter of this. Just under 15 mils. So we'll get it to 15 and see how it slots into where it's supposed to go. Okay. So yeah, don't need to unlock this, and we sorry, doing this one-handed, so it's a little tough. Get this guy out. Sit you in there for the minute. Yeah. A dead center would probably be better because my live center, yeah, not the best for that. So yeah, might have to do this without that little extra support there, because I don't have a dead center or a live center that is the correct shape to deal with that. Alright, so done the first little bit, as you guys can see here. Now it is just over 15. It fits nicely there. It's not too tight, because I can always make it a little smaller, but I can't make it bigger. So what I'm going to do is see if this guy fits on, and not quite as close, so I'm going to take a little bit off. Alright, face mask down. Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's not pretty to me. It's not model work or anything like that. There we go. That's a really good fit there. That comes nice and flush right up to the edge of the bearing, so that's great. Now the next part, that is so it's a little surface rusty, but it is 19 millimeters, so, and that goes for a distance of just over 10, so 10 and a half I'll call that. Wait, but that's yeah, so let's take another measure. It's more like 11 mil, so let's leave it at 11 because I can take material off, I can't add it on. So, and again, it's going to be 19 millimeter. (19 by 11). So this is currently measure it this way so you guys can see. So 25 and a half. So we need to take, yeah, sorry, not 29 and a half, there, 25. 25 and a half. But yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to take 6mm off and then edge it down from there. Let's get the little toothbrush and so we can see what we're doing. Bring it back out. That'll be our first cut, taking off about 1mm in radius, which is about 2mm in there. So yeah, let's see how we go. Drop that one down there. Let's there we go. That's enough. No, slightly bit more, and then so that way we've got to get the parting tool in there, but that gives us a nice bit to cut there. So yeah, that'll do. Alright, so yeah, I'm on the parting tool now. That'll cut this off the stock. Yeah, so I've got my 10mm hole, got that distance there, got this distance there with a little extra for the parting tool. Now the parting tool is 3mm, and that is just about 15mm or so, but this is 11mm, and looks like I have 11mm from the edge of the parting tool to there, so I believe we are good. However, I'm going to just go like that and just bring it ever so slightly and give it an extra 1/2 mil there, just to be on the safe side. So a little bit of oil, like it doesn't really need it through brass, but we'll still give it a little bit anyway. So yeah, time to give it a shot. Alright, face mask down, and let's go for it. So move this out of the way. That's tight. These are tight. Okay. Now, what I would usually do at this point is put a pencil or something in the middle here so I can catch it, but since I'm holding the phone thing right now, I can't. So I'm going to put this little piece of rubber mat underneath there, so that way the rubber mat catches it. And looks like it didn't fall down there, it just fell down to this. Now what we've got to do is get this little bit of excess off. A tiny little bit there. So what we do is we put it backwards inside the chuck, and yeah, just use the do you call it? This little chamfering tool. So let's get to that. Alright, so I got my little chamfering tool in the chuck there. Move it forward like so. Make sure it's locked in. Now, not going to go anywhere. Now, just make sure nothing's going to hit. Okay. There we go. Cool. Now, if needed, I can turn around and chamfer the other side, but that's not needed on this little part. Yeah, let's see if it fits on the mower. Just doing a little bit of a mock-up thing here. I think I need to cut down this little section so that the pulley goes a little further inside and doesn't rub up against these at any point. Let's give it a try with the original. Let's look at them side by side. So yeah, looks like I've got to cut that one down ever so slightly by, by about 3 mil. So time to get the parting blade out. Alright, so I've got the this part, and the thickest part is this little bit. So let's move it around. And it fits nicely with the parting blade in that position, so that's where I'm going to cut. Let's make this thing a little thinner. Rise it down. And as you guys saw, I just accidentally touched the wrong one. So I need to redo this. There we go. Yeah, let's just double check that. Looking pretty good. Let's give that a cut. That little bit. So now they're about the same thickness, so time to give it a quick little test bit. Here we go, got it in there, and looks like there's plenty of room when you move things around. So yeah, time for reassembly and see how we go. Personally, I think these holes are a bit worn out and they shouldn't even be there, the enlarged section. It should just really be all up there, and then a nice rounded section at the end for the proper size drill bolt through, so it reaches through, and that's it. There should be no enlargement there and a little extra. It's silly, but yeah, well, that's how they did it. Alright, reassembly. Alright, back. So yeah, after doing some thinking, I've decided to not keep this installed. I'm going to make another one of these, but I'm not going to do with this than the extra. All I need is M10 hole in the right spot, because you put the line around here and then you insert it and then you just put the bolt and everything through. So yeah, I don't know why I need this little extra piece, but you know, cut out and everything, because that's why these came off in the first place. Anyway, so yeah, time to mark out a new set and get started. Alright, so yeah, got this going, got the two little dots there to put the M10 through. Then I'm going to cut all these out and yeah, let's get to it. Yeah, so on the second one. Alright. Clamp it down nicely. It's not going anywhere. See, only the table spins and that's alright. Okay, now face shield down. Just gotta double check. That's where we want it, right in the start where I've gone deep. Alright, and now it's time to cut all of it out, one piece at a time. Here we go, forgot to show you how horrible, well that's still a little warm. But we're getting there. This side's done. Got to scrape off the excess, give it a nice coat. You know, not bad for MIG weld. So MIG weld with gasless, so there's a lot more spatter. But anyways, yeah, let's continue with the other one. So yeah, what we do is we got this in, match up where it would go through, match that up, and just sort of look to see if there will be enough for the cable to go through, and yes, so we're good to put this in this position. So yeah, so yeah, the drill press didn't do the best circular sort of holes, so just going to get it out that little bit so the bolt fits through. So yeah, we've got both these strung up. Just going to give them a paint with this stuff here. So yeah, let's give it a go. Alright, yeah, just going to continue with that. Alright, so yeah, these turned out pretty well after letting them dry overnight. So now it's time to do the nice golden yellow colour, so it matches with the rest of them all. Yeah, you guys get the point. I shall be back. Here we are. Alright, so yeah, time to make the second side of the insert. So instead of making the usual, I'm going to try brass on both ends and see how it goes. So I've taped off here, so you can see where it starts drilling sort of flat at about here, and then I leave enough space for the cutoff tool to go through. So I'm drilling down a little bit extra into here, so we're going to move it forward. There we go. Now we make sure we turn it around by hand, at least one full revolution, to make sure there's nothing touching. Some lubricant on there. Alright, we should be good to go. So yeah, here we go. Okay, so we got the ends like there, and that is more than we need. So yeah, next part is to do the first cut into the layer, then the second one, and then part off, and we are good. So let's get that set up. Alright, so yeah, first thing is loosen the tailstock and pull it out of the way. So we got some room to work with. Now, one thing I like to do is our tool post here, so you've got to get it perfectly 90-degree angle so it cuts nice and smooth. So to do that, and if you can't read any, because this part can be moved independently of this one, so yeah, so what I do is I move it got to move the compound. Move this back a little bit. Then we line it up flat against the face here. And then you tighten it up so you know that it's perpendicular. So when you put your tool underneath here, flat up against there, you know it's going to be nice, straight, 90 degrees, perpendicular, however you want to put it, ready for cutting. Alright, so yeah, let's put the tool in and get started. So got to make sure that's all clean. Put our little guys there, our spacers or shims. I like to use feeler gauge stuff. Alright, and that is clean on the bottom and clean on the side. That presses up against there, so it will go nicely on top in there. And now we just tighten it down. So it's hold up in there, and you get our tool. I like to do the middle one first to sort of get it into position. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so now we get our other piece. Now where did it go? Just a moment. Alright, so yeah, we got our piece here. So we'll do it like the last one, and the first section will be the thinner one and then the thicker one, and then we'll part it off. So yeah, let's remember that the thinner section, just under 15 mil. So we'll get to 15 mil and we'll put it in and see if it fits, and then just take it down ever so slightly until it nicely slots in. And if we put it like that, it is 11 mil, just like last time. So we're going to mark our piece 11mm in. Alright, here we are. So I've marked it. What we got to do is cut it down on the first pass until that black mark disappears, and then we're at our 11mm mark. So we're not going up to the point because you don't know how thick that line is, so you just go until the line's disappeared, and then that'll give us our shoulder. So then I just make it thinner and thinner and thinner in the piece, going along that first shoulder cut. So yeah, and then measure it when we get close. So let's get to it. Alright, so I cut until the black mark there was gone, and let's take a look. Sorry, these are not the best calipers, but that's what I've got. So yeah, we're there at 11mm. Well, no, 0.25 of a mil more. That's alright, let's do that. So put that in there. Yep, we're looking good. Alright, so now I use this little lip, which will become shoulder, and just make this section thinner until we get to about 15mm thick. So here's the part. We're making the thinner section. So yeah, just a smidge under 15, so it fits in nicely. Alright, let's get to it. So, big cut. Let's see. So it was originally, about 26mm. So yeah, 25.4 is 1 inch. And let's take a look. It is now about 21mm. So we're getting there. A 2mm cut should bring us fairly close. There we go. Alright, we're at about 18. So yeah, one more cut similar to that and we're just about at the right size. But I'm going to go smaller cuts as we get closer just to be on the safe side. We are at 17.5, I think, there. Yep. Yeah, about 2 mils we need a cut, or 1 and a bit. Bring it out, put it in. Okay. So 16 mil. So you guys get the idea. I'm going to do the rest two-handed as we're getting close, and I'm going to use the micrometer to make it right. Alright, so on the part that already fits, and I'm making a clone of now, it is 15.31 millimeters. So that's what I'll be using on this one here to get my measurement. So that needs to slip on, and it's very far from doing so, so we've got to take some more material off. Alright, let's continue. Alright, so this is what happens when you go too far. Can't have that, needs to be a more snug fit, because if we look at the original, it fits in there nicely. So yeah, need to do this again. Alright, here we are. So yeah, this fits on nice and snug, moves around as it needs to. Alright, it binds up a little bit, but that's because of this side. You can see the little wear marks there, so I'm just going to take that down a smidge. And yeah, there's no need to take it all the way down to this size. Let's see what it looks like. So if I put that on there, that measures up nicely, so the new part will, and it stays on the metal section, the inside race, so if it does heat up, it doesn't burn into the cover for the bearings themselves. Yeah, this part doesn't need to be perfect, but yeah, see if I can just make it the size of the metal section there, which is yeah, so 19 mil. So if I do a 3 mil cut on the radius, it'll be 6 mil, so I take it 25 down to 19. Alright, so let's give that a try. Here we are again, I've cut this down. Now, I'm not going to measure, I'm just going to see. That's just about perfect if you look at the top section there. But I might take it down just a touch more, just to be on the safe side. So, yeah, that is that much more. And if we hit the go button, so to speak, Alright, so yeah, the next thing I need to do is to extend that hole I drilled in first to be up to here. So yeah, now that this is already marked off, I'm not going to bother with changing the tape. I'm going to put the parting blade back in so I can cut this part off, drill back in, and then part off the finished piece. So yeah, but first let's have a look. So see how there's little tiny bit of silvery metal around there? It's not just straight on the black bit. So we are in business. Alright, so time to get the part off tool in. Get the brush. And look at all the brass. Let's get our testing piece out of the way there. The brass chips so nicely in this. Set up pretty well. So if anyone's curious, I'm going with 1200 RPM on the lathe, but I'm not sure if this will, and I can do cuts up to, I don't know, probably 5-6 millimeters on this in brass. So, but this is about 3 horsepower lathe, about 2 kilowatts. So yeah, maybe on the smaller mini lathes, you might not get as big a cut and have to do more passes with smaller bites into the material. That's all right. So just undoing these. Get that off to the side. Now we're going to get our little brush. Make sure there's no debris in there that can sort of put the level off. So we'll get our pieces in there, shim pieces. Our parting off blade. Just need to make sure that the bottom surface and the right hand side surface are free of any debris. And we work. See, this is a bit of a two-handed job. Bear with me, guys. Alright, so we're back. I've got the parting blade in there. Now I want it tucked all the way in there on the flat spots. That way it's nice and rigid, but also, you know, held in flat and level. Now you can see where I stopped there. It's pretty much flush with the thing, so that's where we're going to cut. Just on this side of that little shoulder there, that's where we're going to part off. Because it's sitting nicely, and then we'll part off here, but we just got to chamfer the inside and outside edges to make sure people, you know, we don't get any cuts, nicks or whatnot from the edge hitting something, either me or something else. Just good, what do you call it? Good machinist action to do. Alright, so let's line this up. So this way here. More there. And you'll see that's right on the money. We want to lubrication there. That's just a mix of that cutting oil with water. Yeah, it's, and a little bit of cutting fluid as well that I had around. So yeah, just going to use it all up. But anyway, let's get to it. you see that cut off quite nicely, but the edge has still got a little sharp bit. So what I'm going to do is use this chamfering piece here and go in there using the chuck. So take this one, loosen her up. Wait, no, before I do that, I need to re-drill this so the hole goes all the way to the end, then I can chamfer it nicely. So tighten this back up. We get our cutting or parting tool, sliding everything out of the way. You can see the little offcut back down there. Now we bring this forward. So it would already we'll bring it back ever so slightly. Lock it into place with the lever. Make sure our jacket chuck's in the slot in there. And that should go in there nicely. So we're going to leave it part way in there. Everything goes around nicely, doesn't hit anything. Face shield down, and away we go. As you can tell, the tape got pushed back a little bit. I just wanted to make sure I went far enough in there. So yeah, I believe we have. So now it's time to remove our drill bit, put the chamfering tool in and clean up the edge there. So loosen the drill. Whoop, looks like we got to bring it back a little bit. Set that to the side for a little bit. Put our chamfering tool in there. Bring this close. Now you don't need much. In fact, you can almost do this part by hand because brass is fairly soft. So what we'll do is I'll show you that. So it's just making contact. Yep, gotta put. It's pretty cool. All right, so yeah, I'll bring that back in. Let's tighten her up. Throw her on. So you can see that nice curved edge on the inside. That'll help with getting the bolt in, not having to be perfectly perpendicular. It'll slide in a little bit on an angle, helps you locate the hole. Alright, yeah, next part is to move this one out of the way, move this out of the way, and we need our flat file, which is over on the bench. Just a moment. Alright, so we've got our flat file, so it needs to go on this edge and on that edge. So yeah, this is a two-handed job to be safe, so because I need to stand to the side, but I'm doing the same effect on the inside here, just making that a little easier to get into places and smooth it out so no one gets cut. I'll show you a little demonstration. sure if you can see the edge is a little rounded at the top there. It's a little rounded, so I'm not going to cut myself on the inside or outside of that now. Now time to do it to this one. Sorry, just get... Yeah, it's not perfect, but it'll do. So now it's time to cut the piece off and yeah, see how it goes. Although this is the bolt that'll be going in that, so yeah, it goes all the way through. Cool. So now time to get that in. So yeah, there's enough room on there. Right, so we get this guy into place. So yeah, that's in alignment there. So yeah, let's get us started. So face shield down. Put this on there in case it wants to fall off here. Don't want to get it dented by any of the steel that's down there. So, yeah. Put some oil on. Who knows that I touched the wrong dial, so I need to get that back in place. A good thing is to do like that, so when those... There we go. Yep. That'll do. So yeah, bounced off the rubber and landed in a soft pile of debris down there. It is very warm. So I've got to clean up this little bit here and this edge on this side. The other two edges are already being done, but yeah, that'll do. So time to undo this and get this in there facing the opposite way. So let's get to that. So get that out of the way. Don't need that at the moment, that can sit up there. We get our chuck key. Oops, sorry, it's a two-handed job because it's in there very tight. Alright, back we are, so I've got to get that off. You see why I did those two edges before is because you can't get to it once the piece is cut. Unless you get really close in there, and it's just a little dangerous. So we get this out of the way. And we move this closer, lock it into place. Make sure everything's all nice, locked in. Alright, away we go. Alright, so unlock the tailstock and pull her away. Let's take a look. Look at that nice chamfered edge there. So now we just need to do the outside edge here, and since that's very close to the chuck, I'm going to have to jump off camera at the moment and use both hands because it's delicate, and move everything out of the way. So yeah, bear with me a few minutes, guys. I'll be back. Alright, here we are. So yeah, that edge is nice and smoothed out, so no cuts or anything. It is time to assemble the piece, I think. But yeah, so the bolt that goes through goes all the way as needed. And yeah, time to go outside and get back to the mower. Alright, so here we are. We've got the old one here, which used to slide on and then you'd bolt it up, but it's all worn away and it's really not what you need, because I've had one of these fall off before and a bolt break. So yeah, what we got is mower here. Now down there's the hole where it goes through, and we've got the belt that we need to get sorted. Now I need to, yeah, that goes. Alright, let me get the belt sorted in place. Be right back. Alright, so I just had to remove the belt because it moved around a little bit. So this is one side, and there's the other side. So you can see it pulley bolts on in a hole there. So what we do is, we know the pulley goes in like this, bolts through the hole that's down there, and you've got the cover. Now the old ones would let you put this in place and then slot the cover over and then tighten it up a little bit, but no, that's no good in the long run, because what happens is it comes off, the bolt snaps, and you end up chipping your big plate there. So let's not do that again. Alright, so what I'm going to do is have that, put everything on it, and then bolt it in when it's all assembled, like so, in the non-tightened position. So let's get to doing that. Let's give it a shot. Here we are, get that down to there. So what I would do is slip the cover over, put the bolt through the side, and bolt through there. The bolt on the right and nut on the left, so you can actually undo it in the future. And probably put a dash of Loctite so it doesn't come loose while you're doing the job. Alright, let's get to it. Alright, sorry, it's a two-handed job that little bit, but yeah, you can see where I'm going with this. So you got the bushing there, everything slips on, because brass has got very good slippage properties when it's faced with different materials. So then that should go through there. And I don't know why it doesn't, because it's the same size bolt that was in this unit, but all good. I'll turn it through because it's partly through. So yeah, you guys can see what one side looks like. So yeah, let me go get that Loctite and tighten up this one side. So it's through a little bit. Now just put the Loctite on. Now it's a two-handed job, but I thought I'd show you guys. I'm about to put the nut on from the underside and tighten her up. Alright, so first side done. When we pull the lever, it's in position. This is in a good spot. So now I just need to do the other side. See how it won't let it go, let the belt come out of its spot. So I think we're on to a win here. So here we are on the second side. Pretty much the same as before, but a little more room to get the fiddly stuff sorted. So yeah, pulley down, brass bit is in there. Put the bolt halfway through so you can snip it past the big wheel here, and then line it up by looking this way, and then get the bolt through. Now it's a little stuck because, you know, it's a rusty thing here. It's not perfectly 10mm. It's probably imperial, so what we need to do is turn the bolt so it threads itself through, and we're good. So just going to do that with my flex head ratcheting spanner. These things are a lifesaver for all these odd awkward bits, but let's get to it. A two-handed job to hold that in there, but good thing now I can just lean the second spanner up against that to give it a stopping point. So yeah, looking good. Alright, let's try and continue. Now that that's in and they're kind of the same orientation, and then when you pull the lever back to engage, yep, we should be good. Yeah, I'll tighten this up, and if needed, tighten that so it pulls it a bit further, but yeah, we should be good. Alright, cool. Now to put things more back together.